Hello, this is Noni Carr from Enhanced Life Psychology, and I am coming to you today to give you a really quick update about what's going on at the moment. So we all know that there are so many things changing day by day given the global pandemic of COVID-19 or novel coronavirus. It's really tough. I know I came yesterday to briefly chat about how it can be so overwhelming with how much information is being shared on social media, on the general news, on TV, and on general, internet news websites. It's just super difficult at the moment to keep a level head, but sometimes you just need to take a slow breath, assess where you're at and what you need to do. But sometimes even that is really tough to do. And at this particular time, there are a number of people out in the general public who actually do see psychologists. Some of you might be my clients and some of you might not. But it's really tough for psychologists and for psychological therapy to continue happening because often it happens within that 1.5 metre zone that we're being asked to keep. So I'm sitting in my chair where I sit when I see clients. I'm going to turn my camera around so you can see where the client sits. That's where the client sits, and yes, I do have my bike behind them. So I can see my happiness machine. But it's close quarters. And so there will come a time when maybe it's better for myself, my family and my friends if I don't come in. It might even be better for my clients, of course, that I don't see clients in a face-to-face situation like this, because sessions are 50 to 60 minutes, and so there might come a time where myself and a number of other psychologists decide to not see clients face-to-face. And so there are a number of allowances for that in terms of telehealth, which is not just on the phone, it is actually on online video consulting. And that's something that I have done in the past and I will continue doing at times, but it might mean I'm doing that on a more regular basis. I think that means that clients do have access to mental health care. And this is something that is so important in these particular times because of that overwhelm with all of the information and the anxiety that brings. The anxiety that we see in supermarkets at the moment around having to stock up so that if we do have to go into isolation, if we do have to self-isolate, or we need to, we've returned from travel, or someone we know has returned from travel, and we need to go into this 14-day self-isolation where we can't go to the shops. And that means, no, you can't just duck down to the supermarket and get something, and you can't duck down to the chemist and get something. You actually can't leave the house. That's what self-isolation is about. And it's really tough for so many people to need to be in that isolated situation because so many of us rely on our social networks or our family networks to actually stay well. That's, as human beings, we're designed to connect with others. And so sometimes our mental health might suffer if we can't tap into those resources that we usually use to keep us well. That might be going to the gym, it might be going to a yoga class, it might be going to have a massage, it might be catching up with friends. But when we go into self-isolation, this is not something that we can actually do. And so I'm here to say, I'm here to see you on an online video consultation if that's what works for you, if that's what you feel like you need. There are plenty of other psychologists that I know who are also making the decision that they will only be seeing clients in that online video consultation space. And there are many of us who are able to do that. It is possible if you are in isolation, quarantine for a suspected case or an actual diagnosis of COVID-19, that you are eligible to bulk build sessions for psychological therapy within the context of a current mental health care plan. I'm not sure if you can get a new mental health care plan at the moment. That hasn't been released, but that's definitely something that would maybe be something that you could ask your GP about. But that's something I'm just wanting to remind you that this is something that we can do. And over the next sort of few days, week or so, I will be trying to come to you and give you a few tips on what we can do to manage and to keep ourselves psychologically well during this time. There are plenty of resources out there for medical, physical health and well-being, and I'm not going to step into that arena. I have posted a number of links to that on my website, an article on there that I posted yesterday, so you can go and have a look at those websites. But I'm directing you to the Department of Health and Human Services, to the World Health Organization, and to the ABC. I think I've got a podcast, CoronaCast, which is quite good. Lots of questions that you can have answered there. But I will be focusing on how you keep well, psychologically well at this, whether you are in isolation, quarantine, or neither. But just trying to keep yourselves well. So look after yourselves, and I will come to you in the next few days with the first tip. Thank you so much for listening, and always I'm here to help you live your most enhanced life. Thank you very much. Bye.